You're almost through spring ball now. What's it been like? I mean, some new faces, but some continuity in your in your group as well.
Yeah, you're right. So I think in this day and age, there's always going to be a little mixed bag, just the way college football is now with people coming and going and all that kind of stuff. But it is really nice. I heard you mentioned it just now, but to have a TJ Quinn that's getting ready to be in his third year in this defense, and of course Stanquan Clark is in his third year in this defense. That's really nice because there's some things, no matter how much you study and you work, that you can't beat experience. You can't beat actually taking a physical rep and then going and watching it and seeing did it work or did it not work and why either way. So those guys that have that much experience is going to be really nice. And then having a guy like TJ Capers that's now finally coming into his own and doing some things because he's had some time in it and he's completely healthy now and putting some weight on and doing some good stuff. And then you guys just talked to Caleb Perry and having him here. It's been a blessing because he brings some things because he's played football for a long time, and he's also just one of those guys that cares about doing things right. He's in that meeting room every time I walk in. He's sitting up, he's ready to go, and he's excited to do football. So that makes a difference. So when you got guys that are new faces that are wanting to learn and do right, that already know a lot of ball, and then some guys that have had some experience and done some things in this defense already. They know what Coach English is like. They know what Coach Brom does with this program. They've been in there with Coach Reno all summer, and then they've been around me for the last, I'm getting ready to be 3 years in this defense. So now we're going to have a better working relationship, no doubt.
What is Caleb on the field? What is it about Caleb that you like when you guys were looking in the portal and kind of what's he done this spring to impress you?
Well, Caleb, first of all, just on the hoof, you can see he's got some length and he's got good size. And that's a nice thing. But when you watch the tape, so when he hit into the portal, he popped the tape on. Here's a guy that's got some length and size. I hadn't seen him in person, of course, but man, he's running around and looking athletic for a guy with size. And as that time is going, you're watching a lot of film and you're going, yeah, the kid's big, but he can't move. All right, but he could move. He had some good coverage. He was outrunning some skill players. So he can run and to have that much size and that much ability to be mobile. You'd sure like to think that a guy that has played in college football playoffs and played at a high level could come in and quickly pick up what you're doing because we do a lot of things, but we try to keep it where the kids feel comfortable and can react and play fast. And so I think he's doing a great job of that right now. Really great job.
Stanquan was a guy that kind of really elevated his game and his impact last year. Are you seeing that trend continue with him in the spring as he does enter year 3 in this defense?
Well, unfortunately, Stanquan has not been able to practice this spring. He'll be cleared very soon. He's been out for the spring ball, so that has been good for the other guys to get more reps because obviously he would have gotten a lot of reps. But he's coming along great. He did a great job. He's back now where he's cleared to run, cleared to do walkthroughs, cleared to do a lot of the stuff. He's just not cleared for full contact yet. So this summer will be big for him. But he's doing a great job. He's in the meetings. He's working. He's trying to stay in check mentally. But again, it's with the reps that he took over the course of the last 2 years, and especially last year as a starter. I mean, you're excited to have him back again to play ball and try to win with him. But I do think he'll do a great job.
Does he seem like one of those guys that's kind of raising his leadership role like TJ is a little bit?
Well, he is, yes, but it's just difficult because they take them in to lift during practice. So it's not anything, no fault of his own, but it's hard to assert yourself in that role when you're having to, rehab, take care of yourself, get ready to go. So, but he will do well. He'll grow in that area, no doubt, as we move into the summer, and he's completely cleared and ready to roll.
You mentioned how with Stanquan now it gives the opportunity for those younger guys in the position group to kind of take on more reps in spring. Have you seen some of those younger guys in the position room take advantage of that opportunity?
Yeah, no doubt. We've got 2 early enrollees in Caleb Matalau and Cameron White, and they've gotten to take. I just looked at the sheet. I could have told you an actual number, but anyways, they've taken a great deal of reps this spring, which we would have made sure they got that anyways. But I mean, it just when somebody's out, then you have to. It does allow others to get more reps, no doubt. But it's really good to see Caleb is going to be a tough, hard-nosed player. He's going to be a really instinctive linebacker, and Cam is starting to grow. He had a much better day today. Did a really good job. He's a really athletic kid. When he gets comfortable and learns don't question myself. Just if I make a mistake, move on to the next play. If I make a big play, move on to the next play. All right, just enjoy the next play because that's the only one you can control at this point. He'll be another good player too. But those two have really gotten a lot of reps, and obviously they should be in high school, getting ready to go to prom or whatever they're about to do. But they're here because they love ball, and they will. It'll benefit them and us next fall. The reps that they are getting. You're correct.
There's probably nothing that TJ hasn't seen, and like you said, being here for 3 years.
Talking about Quinn.
Yeah, in this system, and then being here before, that has to be a benefit, isn't it, for him to be out there and kind of being a leader? And it seems like he's getting more vocal. He's not that kind of. He's really not that kind of kid, is he?
Well, what TJ is you'd all love to have a bunch of them because he's always where he's supposed to be, always doing what he's supposed to be doing. He doesn't miss the weight room. He's a team guy. But what he's starting to do, and today was the best I've ever seen him, I hear his mouth. I hear his voice. And he knows all the stuff, so open your mouth and let everybody else know. And that's just something that doesn't mean he's not a great player. It's just something he wasn't good at before. He always relied on somebody else to do that. Well, now, and that's where he needed to improve. That's where he is improving. So it's good to see him start to talk and start to be obnoxiously loud, not just whispering loud, There's a big difference. But yes, he is doing a much better job.
And he's just so key because he's played so many snaps. He's played probably more snaps than anybody on the defense, I would imagine.
I don't have that stat, but I would have to guess he's right up there pretty close. If not at the top, he's had a bunch.
He said he's actually enjoying guys coming up and asking him questions now. You've seen that frequent interaction?
TJ said that?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I wasn't here when he said about that. I'm glad he's glad to come in. But yeah, no, this group right here, and I've had Coach Mark Sander, who's awesome, works with us, and he's told me that a couple of times and on the sideline. He said, Coach, these guys when they come over there, they're talking about football. They're talking about what just happened on the last play, what's getting ready to happen. Hey, I got the call. They're asking each other, what does that mean? What does this mean? Or would I do it this way? So it's a priority. It's not, hey, I got a break and I'm gonna sit over here and pick my ear. No, they're talking ball. So yeah, it's infectious because if everybody wants to do it, then they all start doing it, and it'll help you grow.
What have you seen out of that kind of second group of linebackers behind guys like Quinn and Clark, like say TJ Capers, Trent Carter, or even WKU transfer Darius Thomas? What have you seen out of those guys so far?
Now, Darius hadn't been with me in my room. He's playing that star position out there with not that he hasn't done a good job. I'm just saying he's not in my direct line of contact. But I think Capers has had a very eventful spring. He came in and was injured and had to heal that first year. And last year he did some good things, but it just kind of wasn't in the cards at the time. And right now he is figuring this thing out. He has made some impact plays this spring, and he's also he's getting to the point where he's reliable all the time, not just some flash in the pan here, and then we can't count on him for 5 plays. So that's the consistency we're looking for. He's put some weight back on. He's getting right about where we want him. We'd love for him to be about 225, 226 in that range. He's right about getting in that range right now. So he's just starting to show some consistency. We know he's got speed, and we know he's got talent, and he's really starting to grow into a productive and consistent, that's the key thing, linebacker. So really excited about TJ right now. Caper, sorry, we were talking about Quinn earlier.
And what about Trent Carter as well?
Trent's doing a good job. I'll tell you one thing about Trent, and this is one place he's truly helped us. He has probably been the best communicator of all this spring, and that, again, it spills over to each person in the room. So when he's doing that, it makes everybody else demand that of themselves because it just becomes normal. It's like Pavlov's dogs. When you train yourself to do something the right way all the time, then it just becomes what you do instead of having to trick yourself into it on occasion,
When it comes to experience, obviously bringing Caleb Perry in, as far as just the transition, does it help as far as him having that better experience in terms of just learning the system? Does that make sense?
Having the experience he's had.
Yeah, is it just a matter of him just kind of adjusting terminology to what you got to do?
That's exactly it. He and I have had that conversation multiple times. There's a lot of things, that are easily translatable, and in some of it's just terminology. It's just what we call something he was already doing for the most part. Now, there's some things that, he and I have talked about we want to keep working on and getting better, but the biggest thing with Caleb is, first of all, he's smart. Second of all, he cares. And then if you have ability, which he does, if you're smart and you care, then having ability, it makes a difference. If you have ability and you're not smart and you don't care, it doesn't matter as much. But he has both, and he has those intangibles. So when you're smart and you care, he'll put the extra time in. He's always willing to show up early, have a meeting. He's the one asking, hey, can we talk about this? Coach, I had a question about that. And so therefore, I'm not saying it comes easy to anybody, but when you have those type of qualities, it comes easier to those people because they're going to put the time in to make it happen. So he's been great to be around for the last few months, I guess we'd say. I guess January, start of January.
How do you differentiate between the TJs and the Calebs?
Well, you call one Cape and one Quinny, and you just keep talking through it because it is, you know, you're right. You're talking about TJ, you're talking about TJ, so you just can't say TJ.
Oh, you have two Calebs too.
Yep, and one's Perry and the other one's Matalau. And Matalau is easy to remember. So,
Cool. Thanks,
all right.
sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.